G'day there, it's Dave Conroy again, and Dave Conroy from the Lone Drainer and Pronto, and I'm doing the Lone Drainer and Pronto Coronavirus Diaries for 2020, and I'm fortunate enough today to be back with Dominic D'Ettorre from D'Ettorre Real Estate, and his website is d'ettorre.com.au, and Dom was giving us some wonderful insights a couple of days ago about how the coronavirus is affecting his clients, his property owners, his tenants, his commercial owners, and their tenants and businesses. And I just sort of check in with Dom because there are some subsidies available for businesses that are in trouble during the coronavirus period. Now, we're in a lockdown period in Sydney at the moment, as is most of the world. And Dom can share some insights with us about just those things. So, g'day, Dom. Welcome back.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, likewise.
And we were chatting earlier about some of the subsidies that are available to commercial tenants during this period when they've had a dramatic downturn in business. So, could you share some of that knowledge with us, please?
Yeah, look, a couple of weeks ago, the federal government created, because it was quite diabolical, dealing with tenants. So there was a code that they've undertaken, SME, which is a small to medium enterprise code, which the government put together, which gave us a benchmark as agents to negotiate with the landlord and the tenant. It gave us a bit of clarity and a bit of, just a bit to work from that enabled us to say, well, look, what income have you lost during this period? So, for instance, say, just to keep it simple, Dave, businesses such as a beautician, what I'm managing at the moment, dentists, yoga studios, gymnasiums that have had to force closure. So that's going to be pretty simple. So what applies there is what we call they've lost 100% of their income. So,
wow.
So the mandatory code has come in up until the 3rd of April. So up until the 3rd of April, they have to be square on their books with their rent. Past that, they prove to us what income they've lost. Now, obviously, they've closed business, so we know, but still to help us, negotiate and implement the code, they still need to show us that they've got nil income for most of April and now coming up to April and May coming up. So each month they prove to us what they do. So what the government have implemented, 100%. What they have to pay over a 24-month period is 50% of the rent. Now that doesn't have to be paid as soon as possible. They have 24 months to what we call repay that. So the other 50% that the landlord, property owner has lost, 25% of that can be claimed against their land tax, and the other 25% is just written off. So the property owner will lose roughly around 25%. But the other thing that we've got to take into consideration, these businesses last 3 months or 6 months, and this a 50% rental payment that has to be reclawed, and they've just shut up shop and paid after 3 or 4 months, it's going to be hard chasing that money back. All right, you've got a bank guarantee, which is usually in the value of 3 months of rent, but it's not a one size fits all, and every business is different, obviously, but at least for an agent, it does give us a bench to work from. But again, implementing that, and for the prospective tenant, the tenants that are, under duress, once we get back to normality, how long will it, will their business take off again? Yeah. So that's the unknown questions, but.
So you're acting as a broker between the business and the property owner?
Yeah, look, it's part of our duty as property management when we as always, that's our duty, is our job is to negotiate. Yeah, but in this current we're doing a lot of this type of work, and there's no income for it. But again, it's part and parcel of our property management, which we are happy to do. But we are going around in circles with a few tenants and landlords where tenants are just saying, I want 50% reduction. Well, provide us, and for one example, I've got a veterinary, but okay, their business is affected, the economy is affected all round, but they're not a forced closure business. But to just willy-nilly say 50% with no proof, that's.
So if they're making a claim, they have to substantiate it, and
Yes,
so they can't just say I've lost 50% of my business or I've lost 80% of my business.
Yeah.
They have to substantiate that with their books up to, you said, the 3rd of April.
Yeah, we need bank statements. We need their BAS from 29. What they want, the government want you to do is compare 2019 months to 2020 months, and that's how it's as simple as that. So, and that's part of the SME mandatory code that we're going through. A lot of people are cooperative, and there are legitimate people out there that and there are landlords that are cooperating and being very generous.
Yeah.
And again, there are some tenants that are just trying to milk the system.
Yeah. Okay. So we need people to enter into these negotiations with a spirit of cooperation, by the sound of that.
That's exactly right, and that's what the code has stated, that it all has to be in goodwill and good spirit, and that's what we are attempting to do. So some rents renegotiating we're doing, and it's quite simple process, and everyone's cooperating. And there are some a little bit more difficult than others, where they don't want to produce income, they don't want to produce their bank statements, and it's just making it hard. Going back to a landlord saying, well, they just want 50%, but they don't want to show anything. And then
well, that's being unreasonable.
Yeah, but look, the good thing about it is that a lot of people are cooperating, and a lot of landlords are cooperating, and we're getting through. But there's still a lot that we're still haven't finalised. And it's
in their best interest to cooperate.
Yeah, of course. And look, the longer it goes on, but again, the mandatory code also protects they can't be evicted, and which you wouldn't want to do anyway under this time of duress. But again, it's give and take. You've got to. Otherwise, it's a domino effect. They don't pay. Some owners that I'm dealing with, that's their income. That's their only income. They're retirees or they're young couples, and they rely. They've got young families that that's their livelihood. So it's like a lot of people that they work. Some people don't work. They just rely on their investments as their income. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, so it's tough times for people on every aspect of a real estate deal, by the sound of that.
Yeah, and it's the same with the residential. Again, we do undertaking the same, prove that you've lost your job, prove that you've lost your income's come down, and look, the residential is a bit more simplified, and we're more or less, there are a few that again trying to profiteer and trying to milk it again. But again, a lot of them are cooperating. They're giving us letters from their employment. They're giving us their financials. They're giving us their pay slip, and the owners are happy to apply. So, and that's
that's a lot of extra work for you, might I add.
It is. It's a lot of work, and we're working harder than ever at the moment. And a lot of real estates I'm talking to, and for little result financially, but it's all part of the service. And
I think I would say that both your owners, your investors, and your tenants will thank you for that extra work that you're doing during this period, Dom.
Yeah, a lot of being grateful, and it's nice to be, it's nice for the people to react and send an email and say, they're very grateful. So that's very rewarding. No, it is. And look, I think in a time like this, everyone's got to cooperate and help. But as you know, Dave, the world's not perfect out there. But there's a lot of
the world is pretty cool. Can I just say in closing, and thank you for your time today, but I just wanted to say I did anticipate running into you on the beach this morning, but I didn't think it would be the way that I would see you. It was a treat to see you down there. For all those of you who are watching, Dominic is a very, very fit athlete,
Oh,
and I saw him running up and down Coogee Beach this morning, and he looks pretty good with that shirt off. And
yeah. It was nice to feel sand between my toes again. I tell you, it's been a long
yes,
time.
so that's a treat for us. So the world is a pretty good place because guys like you and I can meet and greet even at a distance, and we touch elbows at Coogee Beach early in the morning. It was a treat to be able to do that this morning. I hope I get to see you possibly over the next few days in the same arena because I got in the
Yes.
water this morning. It was just magic. But for now, Dom, thank you. Dominic, I appreciate it, and I'm sure we'll catch up again.
Thank you, Dave. Anytime.
All the best, mate. See ya.
Thank you.